Do you know what is one of the highest pollutants in the world? About 70% of pollution because of clothes affects Honduras' environment. And in the world, this pollutant is the second biggest global issue.
Who are we? We are self-retained and we are here to prevent this pollutant from spreading any further. We do this by repurposing your wardrobe so it doesn't end up in landfills, oceans, and in the air. And transforming it into something you can use in your daily lives and at the same time helping those in need. What are our goals? Create a sustainable project that reuses clothes for the sole purpose of reducing the clothing waste in our community, provide comfort and support for orphanages, public schools, and reduce the use of supermarket plastic bags.
Clothes, the secret environmental enemy. Clothes is the cause of air pollution, water contamination, landfill contamination, also NPE contamination, and the overproduction of clothing, thus other environmental hazards.
Just by washing your clothes, you're polluting the oceans. More than ever now, clothes are made of plastic. Materials such as nylon, acrylic, and other forms of plastic are now about 60% of the material that make up our clothes worldwide. Synthetic plastic fibers are cheap and extremely versatile, providing for a stretch and breathability in athleisure, and warmth and sturdiness in winter clothes. A single load of laundry could release hundreds of thousands of fibers into our clothes of the water supply.
3/4 of our clothes go to landfills. Then it takes 200 years for clothes to disintegrate into tiny microplastics, which later contaminates the air and water.
In supermarkets around Honduras, people depend on plastic bags, which are non-biodegradable materials. These materials end up all around our environment and take thousands of years to decompose.
So fast fashion. Fast fashion is a concept where all stores like Express, Forever 21, and all these clothing lines use clothes that end up in landfills. Like 12.8 tons of clothes are in landfills, and that it's like the amount of a 14-deep football field. So it's something that we have to control, because usually people like in the catwalk don't use the clothing they're using. Rather, it goes to these stores that later most of it goes to Goodwill and then up in landfill.
Why donating is not a solution. About 45% of these textiles continue their life, just not domestically. Only about 1/5 of the clothes that are donated are used for charities, and the other half is not even sold in the thrift shops. And more than 100 countries buy used clothes from the States and sell them in tiny stores, and then at the end of the day they just end up throwing them away. And this is a vicious cycle. What happens is that we buy the clothes are made, then we buy them, then we get bored of them, we donate them or throw them away, and then there's not a step further after that. So it just ends up contaminated landfills, and instead people what do is make more clothes.
Other than donating, what can you do with the clothes? We have proposed some of the ideas that are give them to organizations that will use them again, because as we mentioned before, if you donate your clothes, the cycle ends up with the clothes in landfill and contaminating the environment.
So we have many different uses for it so far. We created 5 carpets, 10 small blankets, 5 pillows, 2 bags, and 10 headbands.
So the steps for creating this blanket, first you need to get like all the clothes, because you're gonna need a lot. Then you're gonna start cutting them by strips from the bottom to the top. Then you separate them in colors, so that way you can choose like the colors you're gonna use. And you first start vertically and then horizontally with a frame that is made of wood and nails. And at the end you're gonna have whatever you're making.
So give a shirt of our clothing footprint is something really important that sometimes we forget. You cannot just throw clothes away. It's gonna come back to you, and it's gonna be a cycle that's never ending, that ends up in landfills, oceans, and everywhere.
Okay. Style for a Change is an organization that wants to make factories socially responsible for the overproduction of non-biodegradable materials. We want to make this expand by alluring other companies to join the social impact. Also, we want to empower women by teaching those who do not have dependency on the male counterpart and want to provide for their family.
So while working in our projects, we found that we had a lot of disadvantages, and one of them was that it was difficult for us to find clothes, and especially because we didn't receive so much support from the school, like from the different departments, but we were able to get the help from middle school by making a clothes drive in middle school. Some advantages that we have had throughout the project is that we are basically helping the environment. It's a new project in which we are not helping only the environment but other people that are in need.
So you can contact us by Instagram or Gmail at styleforchangehm or gymstyleforchange@gmail.com.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so the activity is that we're going to divide different groups. Part of us going to cut, or other are going to form the blanket. First of all, we have to do it vertically then horizontally, and we're gonna put some music and we're gonna start.